This isn't a guns situation. I mean, we could go into it, but it's a little bit soon to go into it. But fortunately, somebody else had a gun that was shooting in the opposite direction. Otherwise, it would have been as bad as it was. It would have been much worse. But this is a mental health problem.
The rush to judgment, particularly by people who are just see politics and Trump derangement in every single thing they do, it doesn't help the victims, and it's disrespectful to the dead.
I am today starting the process of terminating the diversity lottery program. I'm going to ask Congress to immediately initiate work to get rid of this program. We'll be talking about gun laws as time goes by.
President, there's a gun violence problem.
But we're not going to talk about that today. We won't talk about that.
I think it's particularly inappropriate to politicize an event like this. It just happened within the last day and a half. It's entirely premature to be discussing about legislative solutions, if any.
Now, I've heard a lot of platitudes about how strong we are and what we're going to do as a nation. We're not going to give in. That's all great. People in New York are extremely strong, and the New York City attitude toward this is probably the right attitude to take, which is to plow on. But the one thing I want to make sure of is that the American people understand that we're making the right policy choices. So I believe very deeply that this gentleman, Mr. Sapop, I think is his name, should be held as an enemy combatant under the law of war. The reason I say that is that there's ample evidence to suggest that these attacks were motivated by radical Islamic thought.
You honestly believe that if we had passed some law that we could have stopped this in Las Vegas?
The reality is, when you look at some of the things that have been proposed on the other side of people who want gun control, none of them would have done anything about this issue.
There are already limits on the gun ownership, but frankly, let's go out and enforce those laws. Don't try to put new laws in place that don't fix these problems. They only make it harder for law-abiding citizens to own a gun.
There's a time and place for a political debate, but now is the time to unite as a country. There's currently an open and ongoing law enforcement investigation. A motive is yet to be determined, and it would be premature for us to discuss policy when we don't fully know all the facts or what took place last night. We're going to continue pushing for and advocating for getting rid of this program. Something he's talked about. We'd like to see the lottery visa program not be part of any immigration system that we have in this country.
Do they need gun control now, sir?
You know, it is an unfortunate thing that the immediate place the media goes after any tragedy, after any murder, is politicizing it. We don't need politics right now. You know, I would note in New York we saw a terror attack just this week with a truck. Evil is evil is evil.